On September 17, 1787, the Constitutional Convention was drawing to a close. Outside, the air was thick with the anxiety of a brand new nation. As Benjamin Franklin exited Independence Hall, Elizabeth Willing Powell rushed through the crowd, grabbed him, and asked, "Sir, what have we, a monarchy or a republic?" Franklin delivered a dire, prophetic warning to the generations that would follow: a republic, if you can keep it. He was describing a radical departure from the rest of human history. For thousands of years, power flowed from the top down. Kings and elites held a monopoly on force, treating people as subjects. The founders inverted that pyramid, placing governance on the individual. Knowing centralized power is a ravenous beast, they built the Constitution as a rigid straitjacket, locking government into strictly enumerated responsibilities. History taught the founders that a republic's true threat lies within, specifically in the eventual passivity of its own citizens. A constitutional republic is a fragile trust. It dies the moment a citizenry trades the hard work of vigilance for the comfort of blind obedience. 250 years later, that independence is being surrendered through a series of 1,000 small, convenient compromises. The decline accelerated as politicians abandoned their constitutional duty. Instead of debating and passing precise laws, they began delegating their legislative authority to the alphabet state, a massive network of unelected administrative agencies. This building houses the Internal Revenue Service, one of many unconstitutional agencies that now operate as a monolith, penalizing citizens and extracting wealth without ever requiring a jury trial. This overreach has expanded until bureaucratic entities like the FDA dictate the regulations governing our bodies and our supply chains, often crushing independent operators to enrich a corporate political syndicate. Agencies like the CDC now write their own rules, demanding total, unquestioning compliance from the public under the guise of safety. These bureaucratic mice were left to dismantle the American dream while the watchmen slept. To maintain this control, the administrative state offered a Faustian Margin, absolute state-managed security in exchange for individual sovereignty. Through welfare programs and safety net grants, the government attached invisible tethers to the population, eroding natural community resilience. A state managed by unelected agencies requires a citizenry that accepts administrative decree without question. To meet this need, state-run schools began sanitizing history and suppressing critical inquiry, leaving students unequipped to question the intricate workings of the government. This is a direct departure from the rigorous literacy the founders expected. They wrote primary source documents, like the Federalist Papers, with the assumption that the average citizen would have the intellectual discipline to hold local power structures accountable. Today, that discipline is replaced by a 24-hour corporate media machine designed to keep us terrified and divided. By focusing our attention on the myth of a savior president, the system blinds us to our own local responsibilities. The system operates on your desire for safety. It extracts your compliance to sustain its own power. No politician, party, or bureaucratic agency is coming to save us. That illusion has to be abandoned entirely. True sovereignty begins the moment you stop waiting for permission and take absolute responsibility for your own domain. The buck stops with you. Replace dependency with the LFEG5 core values: integrity, honesty, accountability, reliability, and commitment. This is the framework of the sovereign citizen. Instead of fighting the federal machine, build a resilient local economy, bypassing the centralized monolith entirely. Liberty is forged in the fire of personal accountability. It is a grueling daily standard that must be proven and passed to the next generation. 250 years ago, you were handed a radical gift. You must now determine if you are a grateful steward of that liberty, or if you are currently sacrificing it for the illusion of safety. Blind obedience feels easier than resistance, but it is the primary tool of your own subjugation. It is time to find out your true sheep value. We have engineered the free Sovereign Complacency Survey. This interactive self-scoring audit forces you to brutally evaluate your economic dependencies and mental conditioning. This assessment will reveal the truth. Are you a passive spectator to the destruction of the American dream, Or are you an architect of freedom? Click the link in the description to take the survey now. The illusion is shattered. Let's get to work.